Previously on Spenelli Speaks. Today, you all selected The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. Hi everyone, Danny here. Another day of 31 days of book reviews here in July. And today is funny because this is interactive, right? Everyone gets to vote on which book comes next. And I feel so bad for loving the Time of Cholera. Like, this is the second time that it was not picked. So we're gonna go put that on the comeback pile back here. And we'll see that later on this month. So, yeah, needless to say, by a huge margin, Night Tiger definitely won out on the review for today. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of this video to find out what books will be up for voting for tomorrow's review. Now, today you all chose the Night Tiger, which I have to tell you was better than I thought it was going to be. I really had no idea what this book was going to be about going in. I remember I saw a few reviews from last year's booktube prize, but I didn't pay that close attention. And quite frankly, I saw this at a rummage sale and you could fill a box and pay $10. So essentially after I filled my box, I paid 10 cents for this book. So it's hardcover. It was in perfect condition, a brand new book. I mean, hello. And then look at this cover. It's beautiful. So cover buy for sure, as well as my buddy Reed bought this as a cover buy. I actually read this as a buddy read quite recently with Stephanie over at Miss Richards Reads. So if you haven't already checked her channel out, I'll link it in the description below. Make sure you go over there and see all of the lovely books that she reads and reviews. She does a lovely job and has a lovely channel. So let's talk about this book. So this book is set in, I would say, the early 1940s, and it follows two different main characters. One, which is, I think her name is Ji-shin, and then this little boy named Ren, and both of them are connected in some way. There's these Confucius virtues that there are 5 of them. So there's these 5 people that are connected. One is Ren, one is Ji. Her brother's name is Shin. I think it's Ji Lin. I get them all mixed up, but she's called Louise because she's at this dance hall too. So Louise as well. And they're all connected. Ren had a twin brother who had passed, and then there is one last person who we don't quite know yet. But anywho, we follow these two timelines, or not timelines, but two main characters in the same timeline. And it all revolves around this finger. Ren is trying to find this missing finger of his past master, who was a doctor, and the doctor just died, and he said he needs to find this finger in 49 days and get it buried with him. So Ren goes to try to find this finger, and he ends up being a houseboy with another doctor, who this doctor was friends with the other doctor. And a bunch of, shenanigans ensue with women and tigers, and yes. So the folklore is that if a body is not buried with all of its parts, it's possible they can come back to haunt the land. And this particular person was some kind of tiger, kind of like how we have folklore of werewolves. It was kind of like that, like a were-tiger. And so there's this tiger attack or maul where this woman gets kind of eaten by a tiger. And I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just, there's just so much that happens in this book. It's very film noir, if you are familiar with that, where it seems very dark, very old Hollywood. That is the kind of atmosphere that this book holds. The other main character, Louise, or G, she is trying to make money to pay off her mother's debts. And so she's in this dance hall, which is not looked greatly upon, but she just dances with men for money, basically. It's all well and good. She doesn't, you know, go and do anything naughty, but that is naughty in and itself. Oh, it's so naughty. Anywho, so through various things, these people all meet each other, and it's like the beginning of the book is really interesting because you learn about everything. Then the middle, it kind of starts to get a little slow, and then all of a sudden towards the end, it just smacks you with action. I mean, it just, like, there's so much stuff that happens. There's, you know, there's fighting, there's near-death experiences, there's these haunted dreams. There's so much that happens in this book. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought the characters were well-rounded. I felt like the writing was poetic and beautiful. The atmosphere was wonderful. There was so many pages where you really felt like you were immersed in the area they were in. They go through different cities. They ride a train. I mean, there's just so much that you just totally become part of this book. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the ending was great. I thought that the characters were wonderful. I loved the little boy Ren. He was so... oh, he was just so full of love and compassion. I just loved him so much. Hello there. Yep, I am on the floor and plugged into the wall because my camera just died. So as you can see almost all of my shelves. This right here is the guest bed, so I usually sit on the other side of it when I'm filming. So we're gonna continue the review from right here because I don't have time to wait for my battery to charge. So where did I leave off? I am not quite sure what that all caught. So I will just go ahead and start somewhere and then mash it all together in editing. So I think the last thing I was talking about was Ren. Ren being that 10-year-old boy, and truly the driving force of bringing these 5 virtues together, these 5 people that represent the Confucius virtues. And he is just, he was wonderful. Every time it was his chapter, because it goes between Jilin and Ren, I just loved reading about him. He was just so sweet and so concerned, and he just, yeah. So all in all, the book was fantastic, so atmospheric, had beautiful language. I loved the characters. I mean, they were solid. I really enjoyed the characters. There were so many different dynamics and kind of themes that this book covered. You know, it covered abuse, it covered love, and you know, it covered friendship and sibling love, and it really did such a wonderful job of pulling all of that together. And even the ending, I feel like really closed everything up really nicely. There was one thing that Stephanie and I were like, I don't know that I would have done that way, but it didn't kill the book for us. It didn't make it like, oh, well, now we don't like this book. It was just kind of a situation that I don't want to give it away because it would be a huge spoiler. But in that instance, so if you read it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We were like, what? Really? Like, that is not how I would have written that scene at all. But it is what it is, and like we said, it didn't ruin the book for us. It didn't make us feel any differently. We still really love the book and would highly recommend it. So if you are looking for something in a historical fiction that has a little bit of magical realism, which I believe is becoming a theme on this channel, go ahead and pick up The Night Tiger. Very, very good book. Now, on to our reviews for tomorrow. And I feel really bad about Love at the Time of Cholera, but we're gonna hold on that one. We're gonna keep that on the comeback pile. But for tomorrow, you get to pick from two different books that we have not yet heard from. The first, I don't have a physical copy because I did read it from the library, but if you watched my Memorial Day vlogs where I was in Washington County, or Washington Island, I read No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy. So that'll be your first choice for review for tomorrow. So again, I'll put the picture here if it isn't already, and that is No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy. And then we have The Color Purple by Alice Walker. This is another book that I read with my book club. So that is your second choice. So Alice Walker's The Color Purple alongside No Country for Old Men. So make sure in the comments you vote for tomorrow's review, and I'm super excited to get that together for you. I've been having a lot of fun with these. It's very interactive. It's fun to see what people want to see. I feel like when I do love in the Time of Cholera, I'll make it just that much better because it's been kind of pushed aside twice now. So we'll get there. It'll be here, just be later in the month. So until next time, I hope you all are reading something great, taking care, and staying safe. And as always, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.